As a newer player in Raid Shadow Legends, one of the most important things you can possibly do is start progressing your clan boss team. That means looking out for rare and epic champions in particular that you can weave into a clan boss team and make sure that you're cashing in on the best daily rewards possible by, just headbutting the clan boss, man. This video is going to cover a whole bunch of epic champions that you can be looking out for. Starting with the Silver Watchers faction, we're going to be covering debuffers, we're going to be covering key buffers that you can be looking out for too, HP burners, poisoners, even a couple of ally attack champions, then a few honorable mentions towards the end. In fact, the first champ we're going to be starting off with is something of an honorable mention herself. She's just a very, very solid progression epic overall. If you do happen to pull your way into Ruella, her A1 is fantastically good against normal mode Fire Knight. It's a triple hitter on the A1, with each crit having a 100% chance of stealing 5% of the target's 10 meter, so pretty damn good into Fire Knight right off the get-go. I want to point out as well that Ruella's A1, when combined with the Giant Slayer Mastery, is also pretty tight, with each hit having a 30% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. Bonus damage is equal to 7.5% of the target champ's max HP, or 3% of the target's max HP when attacking bosses. And so, this is just very, very likely to proc with her triple hitter A1 when attacking into clan boss. Very, very good stuff. But Ruella is going to fall into the debuffers category because, dude, check out this A2, man. It's a triple hitter on the A2. Each hit, when fully booked, has a 70% chance of placing a strong decreased defense debuff. Very, very important for clan boss. A strong weakened debuff. Also very, very good for clan boss. And a decreased speed debuff, which, I mean, is good everywhere but clan boss. Obviously, clan boss can't be affected by decreased speed, but the decreased defense, the weaken, both taken care of by one skill on one champ, is pretty gosh darn solid. She also comes with some 10 meter fill by 20% on a 3-turn cooldown on the A3. Very, very nice stuff, and places a increased crit rate buff on all allies for a couple of turns. So if you want to really build your team around that, you do have the option to do that. Again, I'd more consider Ruella a bit more of a progression style champ. She's not going to go with you from normal mode Fire Knight into hard mode or anything like that because of the nature of the A1. And at the end of the day, you are going to find better debuffer options as time goes on. But if you pull her early on, dude, decreased defense, strong weaken, very, very nice indeed, man. Okay, man, now the true list begins though, dude. Ruella was just the warm-up, man. Where is Annex? Where is he? This guy, I couldn't believe how gosh darn good this guy's kit is for debuffing clan boss. And hey, man, I just want to point out now as well, before we go any further, if I miss any epic champs off of this list, and I know for a fact that I will, make sure you're dropping down below in the comments, man. Help out the new players. Help them to know what to look out for, right, when they're pulling their shards, man. It's important stuff that new players aren't feeding champs as food foolishly. So right off the get-go, man, Annex on the A1. I mean, he looks badass as hell, by the way. Jesus. The A1, attack one enemy 2 times. This has a fully booked 35% chance of placing the strong version of decreased defense. Very, very solid A1 indeed for a single target hitter against the Demon Lord. The A2 is an attack one enemy 2 times, each hit with a 100% chance of placing a strong decreased accuracy debuff and a strong poison debuff for 3 turns. And then on the A3 we get the Weaken with an attack one enemy 100% chance of placing strong Weaken for 2 turns. Also heals the champion for damage inflicted. So there you go, man. You get the Weaken debuff, you get the decreased defense debuff, exactly the same as Ruella. Quite reliable, both of these. Not 100% reliable, obviously, on the A1, but pretty reliable. Decreased accuracy, and then instead of the wasted decreased speed that Ruella doesn't really benefit from, you get the poison instead on the A2. Dude, Annex, yeah, I mean, there it is, dude. 4.9 for Demon Lord. This guy is solid as hell. And hey, man, promo code time. If you haven't already, go ahead and input the promo code GAMELEAP. Code GAMELEAP will get your hands on 1 free energy refill to help you out in the current champion training tournament, 100,000 silver to help you out with the current artifact enhancement tournament, actually, now that I think about it, as well as 10 free experience brews, man, to get you ready, to get you set for the upcoming Wixwell events, man, because, you can't have enough brews, it's just not possible. And if you are a new player watching this video and you're looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, make sure you do so by clicking on the promo link down below at the top of the video description to start your new account with a free epic champion. Not only that, but you'll also be starting off your new account with a whole bunch of starting freebies, including a whole bunch of starting silver, starting chickens, all of that good stuff. So, yeah, man, get that link clicked if you're looking to start off a new account. Okay, man, let's get into Finn, shall we? Oh my god. Something about the appearance of this one, like a lot of the skinwalkers are kind of creepy, but something about like a really small animal like a mouse getting a human-sized head just gives me the, I don't know, man, it it kind of creeps me out a little bit. But alright, man, Fane is next on our list for sweet clan boss debuffers, man. Here's why. The A1 is pretty damn solid. It's a double hitter with a fully bucked up 45% chance of stealing 5% of the target's current 10 meter. I mean, not great, not terrible, not that useful in the clan boss. Obviously, the A2, dude, this is nuts. I think she's actually better than Annex. Just because she brings so many quality debuffs to the table. She has a 100% chance to poison and decrease attack on her A3 on a 3-turn cooldown. Sorry, on an A2 on a 3-turn cooldown. Very, very crucial debuffs overall against clan boss. And the A3, dude, it just says everything, man. Attack one enemy 3 times. The first hit, 100% chance of placing decrease defense. Second hit, 100% chance of placing strong weaken. And the third hit heals for every debuff on the target, which is just like an extra little freebie. But decrease defense, strong version, weaken, decrease attack, a poison. Dude, she just brings like everything. Everything you want for clan boss is on this gosh darn epic. And yeah, the 4.9 speaks for itself. So there's one more I want to cover. I'm not going to go into Tyrell, although, I mean, we'll just look at him very, very briefly. But Tyrell is honestly another very, very solid kind of progression style epic. He brings the decreased defense and decreased attack. Doesn't bring the weaken, doesn't bring poisons, and so he tends to be just a little bit outscaled as time goes on, but obviously a fantastic, fantastic epic if you get him fairly early on your account. And the last debuffer we're going to cover is actually Suyurin. And I've made a note of this champion's name, and I can't remember why, but I was like, bro, I remember being really, really impressed by reading her kit at the first time, but now I've totally forgotten what she's all about. She's got a 4.7 for Demon Lord. I don't know, man. I wanted to include her as an honorable mention. Let's see if I can remember why as we read through her kit. Right, so it's an attack one enemy 2 times on her A1. Each hit with a chance of placing poison debuff for a couple of turns. Okay, so that's a 50% chance of placing... Okay, that's pretty damn good for the A1. Okay. The A2, attack one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a chance of placing a strong weaken debuff for a couple of turns. It's also just really, really quite excellent. Very, very reliable, really, especially when fully bugged up. Oh, would you look at that? On the A3, it's an attack all enemies with a... Ooh, maybe that's why I put her as just an honorable mention. It's only an 80% chance of placing the strong version of decreased defense. So she's a little bit less reliable, but that A1 is certainly nothing to sniff at. And so, hey man, again, yeah, I think I agree with my past self for making a note of this champ. I do think that should be pretty solid, at least as a kind of progression champ, getting you started in Clan Boss as a newer account. Very, very good stuff. Alright, man. Next up for the buffers. These are going to be 10-meter manipulators. These are going to be, well, I don't know, just useful buffers, I suppose. We're going to be starting off with a good old classic Seeker. We won't spend too long on him because I feel like most people who've played Raid for any length of time have heard about this guy and his ridiculous, ridiculous power. And so, yeah, I've also heard that Seeker fits into a bunch of unkillable Clan Boss teams by just accelerating the crap out of, well, whatever the particular team has going on, I suppose. So the A1 is obviously a double hitter with a provoke. Not really going to help you that much against Clan Boss. I believe it's really all about the A2 here and just maxing out how much you can spam this as much as possible. It's bookable down to a 3-turn cooldown. Very, very good. Fills the 10 meter of all allies by a massive 30% for an epic champ. That's nuts. Places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns and then get that extra 10. And honestly, even the passive, you could find a little bit of use for this, I guess. It's on a 5-turn cooldown, but heals this champion by 20% HP and places a strong increase defense buff on all allies for 2 turns when hit with a crit. Which, hey, it's obviously not a reliable way to get up the increased defense buff, but there you go, I suppose. You've probably got other ways to be landing that, but yeah, it's really all about the A2. Most Clan Boss teams are going to want to have their hands on an increased attack buff. And the 10 meter fill is obviously absolutely ridiculous, man. So Seeker has got to make the list, even if we're just going to brush over him fairly quickly. Now for a totally different kind of Clan Boss buff champ in the form of Doom Priest. Where is it? Where's Doom Priest? There it is. Oh my god. Doom Priest is like good into everything, huh? Like not just Demon Lord, man. Oi, 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 oi. Okay, yeah, completely different type of buffer, of course, to Seeker, but I'm just going to ball them together. So the A1, attack one enemy if the hit is critical, place the increased crit rate buff on a random ally for 2 turns. Not really doing a whole lot with the A1, not setting the world on fire, but that's not what it's all about with Doom Priest. The A2 is the all-important strong increased attack buff on all allies for a couple of turns, and yeah, you're going to have this up basically in perpetuity with it being a 3-turn cooldown and a 2-turn duration. Very, very nice stuff. Now, dude, this is what it's all about, man. It's all just about the passive. That's crazy, man. Like, like 60% of the champ's power comes from the passive ability. It's kind of weird, but heal all allies by 7.5% of the max HP and remove one random debuff from them at the start of this champion's turn. Yeah, when it comes to debuff removal, Doom Priest is all about that, especially with the likes of the clan boss stun. Very, very annoying stuff. Just having that super reliable way to basically almost never ever be impacted by the clan boss stun on its own is worth a hell of a lot. And yeah, she even brings a increase force ally speed in all battles. It's only force allies? Okay, that seems a little bit whack. I thought it was actually all like speed in all battles for all champs, but there you go, man. Doom Priest, one to hold on to. Ratings speak for itself. Just a very, very reliable supporter to have on the squad. Next up amongst the buffers, we have a very, very solid ally protect champ in the form of Sandslash Survivor. So the A1 is just a little bit crappy, man. It's like a double hitter, which is fine and all, but yeah, it's a provoke style debuff. Not really going to help you out a whole lot. The A2, deceptively good, and it's an attack all enemies, which obviously isn't a big deal against clan boss, but it does also increase the duration of all ally buffs by 110, which, I mean, should always find value at all times in basically every kind of team build in the game. But it's really about the passive, man. So the passive can proc once every 4 turns, place a strong ally protection buff on all allies for 2 turns when any ally's HP drops below 50%, also places block damage on Survivor for 1 turn. And yeah, I think Sandslash Survivor is one of those epics that's just got the advantage of being kind of good everywhere, all over again. Yeah, just fantastically good into just a wide range of content. Really, really helpful for clan boss progression. And also couple her up with just like a second ally protection champ on your team. That could be a way to just build an extremely stable clan boss team. And yeah, that's about that. I didn't want to cover like the most obvious buffers in the game. I feel like you could just list off all of the like strong attack buffer champs and all of like the strong increased defense buff style champs in the game. I guess like Hitatsu and whatever. I thought I'd cover ones that are maybe just a little bit more niche, maybe ones that newer players just wouldn't really consider quite as much and that I thought were pretty interesting during my homework. That's all we're going to cover for the buffers, man. Let's move on to the HP burners, of which, when it comes to epic champs, I feel there is only one, and boys, you know, it's got to be Geomancer. Like, if you've been playing the game for a while, you're probably sick of hearing of this guy. In every single, like, top epic champs video, Geomancer's going to show up. Obviously, he brings some pretty sweet debuffs to the table as well. The A1 with a small chance of placing that strong decrease accuracy debuff. It's really all about the A3, though. To be honest, against clan boss in particular, you're probably just going to be disabling the A2 and just putting him in like a reflex set or something and just spamming out as many A3s as you possibly can. So yeah, of course you can't deplete the clan boss's 10 meter, but you can place that HP burn debuff with a 100% chance. Also the strong weaken debuff. Also, Geomancer, fantastic stuff. You can also work at like some unkillable HP burn teams as well. Not that I know anything about that, to be honest. But what I do know is that it's very important that Geomancer continuously takes damage throughout the fight as well. Just because of his passive, you don't want to be putting Geomancer in a team that has too many block damage effects. You actually want him to be soaking some of the damage, right? And the reason for that is the passive. Decrease the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflect that damage onto each enemy under a HP burn debuff placed by this champion, gosh darn it. Whenever this champion is attacked, also deflects 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a 30% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP. It's ridiculous. It gets better and better the more you read that passive. But yeah, block damage buffs on Geomancer. Negative synergy, right? You actually want him to be taking those hits. That's just the most important thing. Next up, we're going to move on to the poisoners. And as far as epic champs go, the honorable mentions I have scribbled down real quick are Big Old Orn of the Sylvan Watchers faction, the Occult Brawler, Taragi, of course, and Venomage. I feel like those ones are all just very obvious. Another one that's kind of obvious, but I still think bears mentioning just because of his extra crit reduction effect. Where the hell is Dark Kale, dude? Well, there he is. He's right up at the top. Okay, man. Yeah, Dark Kale, when it comes to poisons against clan boss, oh my god, dude. Yeah, 4.9. This guy's solid as hell, man. So, the A1, of course, is a triple hitter with each hit having a, I think, 35% chance fully booked to instantly activate 2 poison debuffs. Oh my god. A 1 poison debuff and 1 HP burn debuff. Incredible stuff. Triggers that damage immediately. Stack up the boss full of poisons, and just laugh your way to the bank, right? The A2 is an attack all enemies with a 100% chance of placing a strong decreased attack debuff for a couple of turns. Each critical hit also has a chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1/10. And on the A3, he has that 100% chance of placing 3 strong poisons and that strong poison sensitivity debuff on the target as well. So yeah, just amazing stuff. And it's as if all of that wasn't just extremely good on its own against Clan Boss. We've also got the passive, which is also no joke. Decrease the crit rate of enemies under 2 or more poison debuffs by 15%. Does the Clan Boss actually have 15 or 25% crit rate? I think it might be 15. This might just kind of disable the Clan Boss's ability to land crits against your team and just score those like unexpected and extremely annoying kills against you, you know? So yeah, Jack Kill just kind of has it all. Is he just the best poisoner in the game against Clan Boss? I'm tempted to say probably. I mean, he's got activators. He brings poison sensitivity and strong poisons and debuff duration increase on the A2. Like, dude, he just has everything. I don't know, man. Jack Kill is unbelievable. Next up, we've got good old Urogrim, who I believe was like a fusion component champ or something like a long time ago for like an old fusion event, but there you go. Still pretty solid to this day, man. The A1 is a double hitter, each hit with a, I think, 30, 40, 45% chance of placing a strong poison debuff for a couple of turns. Pretty good, not too bad. The A2, he actually brings some debuff removal and a max heal, so he's able to cleanse allies out of the all-important Clan Boss stun on a 3-turn cooldown. Very, very nice. Also help them to recover their health after the fact. And on the A3, pretty good. Plays 2 strong poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns. Then also plays continuous heal on allies for 2 turns as well on a 4-turn cooldown, man. So he brings a lot of stability to the team. Not going to be pumping damage, obviously, as effectively as good old Dark Kill, but I think that Urgrim is one to consider at the least. And another, I guess, that's a little bit less obvious that we'll go ahead and cover is going to be Etikata. She's called Etikata, right? It's not going to be like Yurtisata, is it? It's got to be Etikata. She's only rated a 4.7 against Demon Lord? Really? Why did I add her to the list then? Let's see what my thought process was behind this, because again, this is another champ that I can't remember why I made a note of this champ, but I just thought I've got to include her in a future Clan Boss video at some point. Let's see. Attack one enemy 2 times each hit with a 50% chance of increasing the duration of 2 poison debuffs by 1/10. Okay, I mean, as far as A1s go, pretty solid. The A2 is an attack one enemy 3 times, each hit with a 50% chance of placing a 25% poison sensitivity debuff for a couple of turns. Also pretty solid. Does she have a way of placing a poison? Oh my god, I don't know if she does. Okay, so the A3, why did I put this gal on the list, man? So the A3 is a 3-turn cooldown. Attack 4 times at random. Each hit, okay, so she basically has guaranteed chance of placing a hex debuff against the boss. Is the passive going to come into this? It is, okay. So whenever either this champion or an ally lands a crit on an enemy under a hex debuff, has a 10% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff on the enemy for 1 turn. Oi. Okay, yeah, she's definitely worth a mention. I don't know if she's amongst like the best poisoners you could be bringing to Clan Boss. She can obviously help you out in a bunch of other areas in the game as well. I suppose just because of the viability of Hex among different areas of content, helping you out with wave clear, that kind of thing. So I guess that all kind of makes sense. I think reading this back though, the only thing I'd be worried about here is that your entire team starts critting against the Clan Boss and you fill up its debuff limit, which is 10 debuffs, with just 1/10 duration poisons. You know what I'm saying? I'd be a little bit concerned about that. Obviously, her A1 can help to increase the duration of the poisons that are being applied by your passive. So, I don't know, maybe it's not quite as bad as I think, but I'd just be a little bit worried that you're going to end up with like 9 poisons against the Clan Boss, and then you don't have any room to decrease its attack or get that weaken debuff up or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure how she'd actually work in practice. What do you guys think of Etikata? Am I right to put her on this list, or is she just too far outperformed by the other poisoners we've covered so far? Next up, we're going to move on to the good old ally attack champions, and I'm just going to try to ignore the fact that this absolutely adorable cat is just staring me in the face wanting pets while we record this video. She's going to get all kinds of pets, man, as soon as the recording's done. She's getting some now. She's getting some love now, man. She's living her best life. Okay, man. Ally attack champions, we've got to cover. Where is he, man? Where is the fat one? Farrakhan the Fat? Dude, for someone so rotund, I'm having real trouble spotting him. Oh god, there he is. Okay. The absolutely bald. Dude, he just looks like a British man. from like a local pub that's just being clad in some kind of like, I don't know, Eastern armor. And they've just said, there you go, you're a champion in Raid Shadow Legends now. So Farrakhan actually brings a lot of damn good tools. He's not just an ally attack god as far as epic champions go, but he also brings, actually I think HP ban and poison as well. And even, dude, check it out, man. Not reliable, but that 50% chance of landing a strong decreased defense debuff for 2 turns on the A1 is a fantastic, fantastic stat against clan boss. The A2, attack 1 enemy, 100% chance of placing HP burn debuff, and 2 poisons for 2 turns on the A3. Dude, this guy is just a solid poisoner and just damage dealer in his own right, even without the ally attack skill, which is of course his A3. 4-turn cooldown, plays a strong increased crit rate buff and increased crit damage buff on all allies except this champion for 3 turns. Then all allies except this champion will attack 1 target enemy. And of course, if you're setting up a clan boss team correctly, generally speaking, your A1s against clan boss tend to be very, very good A1 skills, right? You want them to be inflicting poison or have a chance of inflicting weaken or whatever, you know? Most good clan boss champs have strong A1s. And so, yeah, it just feels like not only is all of his kit just really, really good against clan boss, but the A3, yeah, fantastic, fantastic synergy for what you want against clan boss, man. Farrakhan the Fat Dude. What an epic, man. Might actually be like the best epic attack champion in the game, but we've got some competition with the next champ we're about to cover. Where is she, man? Dude, if there's one epic champ I could just get for free because I just think she's so badass, it would be Morag. There she is, man. Dude, look at that goddamn sword. It's not even sharp. It's just a mace. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Anyway, man, this guy is absolutely savage. So the A1, attack 1 enemy 2 times, ignore shield buffs. Kind of whatever, right? I also want to point out she's a defense-based champion, so you just build her to be as tanky as possible, and she will hit like a truck as a result. The A2 is an attack all enemies, place a strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns. Strengthen is obviously just, yeah, extremely, extremely valuable. And on the A3, teams up with 2 random allies to attack a single enemy. The allies joining the attack will always use their default skills. Obviously, grants an extra 10 if the enemy is killed. And on the passive, Morag, of course, counterattacks when hit while under a strengthen buff placed by this champion, which she almost always will be under that strengthen buff, right? So yeah, she's just landing haymakers against the clan boss, man. Now, is she exclusively good against the clan boss? Probably not, right? Yeah, she's just one of those champs that's just kind of awesome everywhere. Just kind of a badass in all areas of content. But if you pull her pretty early on your account, lucky you, goddammit, my god. Yeah, she can help you out in clan boss for a good amount of time. Then you can kind of specialize it into whatever other area of content where you want to push her. Is she the best to hold on to for clan boss and just build her specifically for clan boss? Obviously not. I don't think so, but yeah, she could do a damn good job for you if your account is still in its early stages. Now, for a few honorable mentions that didn't really fit into anywhere else in the video, I'm just going to blast through these, man. We've got Maneater, who, of course, is an epic champ that you pair up with Painkeeper to make an unkillable team. Pretty solid if you're making a budget unkillable team. We've also got Aox of the Lizard Men. I think this is a poisoner, actually. Let me just double check. Okay, never mind. Aox's A1 actually has a very, very small chance, really 30% chance per hit to be landing the poison debuffs, which, I mean, I don't know, like, it's still pretty good. He also just offers like a lot of sustain to the team, heal over time, stuff like that, some decreased attack debuff for the boss and stuff. Aox, pretty decent against clan boss. He's one of those champs that doesn't really fit into any category, which is what most of these honorable mentions are going to be. We've also got Hitatsu, who we've already covered a lot of times on this channel, so we don't really need to go over him too much, but of course he's placing a leech debuff, pretty good. He has a 75% chance of landing the decreased attack debuff, which is, you know, not great, not terrible. It helps out quite a bit until you find a more reliable option. Also brings strong increased defense and a small heal over time as well. So Hitatsu, just a pretty good option who's just, I don't know, like an above average epic in a lot of areas of content. And of course we have the Sepulchre Sentinel, who I'm just going to throw in here as well. Just a really, really damn good kind of backbone for your team. Brings a strong increased defense buff and block debuffs buff on allies for a couple of turns. Helps you deal with a clan boss stun. The increased defense is obviously always good. And even on an A1, she has that pretty solid chance. What's that? Like 60% chance of placing strong decrease attack. Pretty solid as well for progression, especially if combined with something like Hitatsu, right? Who also has that not 100% chance of landing the decrease attack. And so you bring Sepulchre Sentinel and Hitatsu, and then it becomes pretty reliable that at least one of them is going to land the strong decrease attack, you know? But yeah, those honorable mentions, kind of hard to categorize, I guess. They're not really debuffers, they're not really healers, you know, but yeah, I thought I'd just throw them all in there at the end. Now I'll throw it over to you guys. Make sure to drop any champs that you feel like I missed, epic champions that is, down below in the comments that you feel are slept on for clan boss, that you feel are tight for clan boss, that are doing a lot of work for you on your account against the Demon Lord. While you're down there, make sure to hit like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We've just surpassed 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely awesome. And it would be sweet to have you on board, man. Make sure to click on the promo link down below at the top of the video description to kickstart your new Raid Shadow Legends account with a free epic champion and a whole bunch of starting freebies. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you all did enjoy, or at least enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm going to catch all of you guys just a tad bit later, man.